Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Barjantia. Now in the previous class, I have explained to you about what is photosynthesis, then why do we need photosynthesis. But now let's go to the two stage of photosynthesis process, that is the light reaction and the dark reaction. As we know that photosynthesis, plant use carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to give out C6, H12O6, that is the glucose and oxygen. Now you see here I write a 6, here also 6, here also 6. That means this is a balanced chemical equation. If I get time, I will show you how this chemical equation is being balanced. So now let's focus on the process of photosynthesis, that is the light reaction and the dark reaction. So now as we know that from the word itself, light reaction, it means it is a kind of reaction which depend on light. So without light, this process, it cannot take place. That's why it is known as the light reaction. So now as we know that light is being absorbed by the chlorophyll, this sunlight is being absorbed by the chlorophyll. So now how does it is being absorbed? Now we'll see that later on. As we know that even if the chlorophyll absorb light, but you never see the light or the leaves of the plant glow, or you never see that the leaves of the plant give out light, right? So now you might be curious, or you might be surprised to know that where does the energy from the sun go? Because it cannot just disappear like that. There has to be another form of process, because that mystery will be explained by the first law of thermodynamics. As we know that the first law of thermodynamics state that energy can't be created nor destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another. It means that you cannot destroy or you cannot create energy, but it just keep on changing, or it keeps on converting from one form to another. That is the nature of energy according to the first law of thermodynamics. For those students who are not familiar with the word or with the term thermodynamics, I suggest them that they would go self-study on this term. You will understand better. As it turned out, this is true, because the light energy is converted into chemical energy. See, this sunlight energy is being converted into chemical. The plant use sunlight because why? The sunlight contains photons, right? You can say this is physical. Now from this one, it is being converted into glucose. Glucose is a chemical. Why? Because it contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. That's why it is the only process in which light energy is being converted into chemical. That's why from the earlier explanation, I explained, or I tell you that this process is also known as the photochemical. Why? Because it involves the conversion of light, that is photo, into chemical reaction. So now what do we say? What do we do now? Let's find out how light are being transformed or being converted from one energy to another, which leads to the synthesis of a new kind of let's say product. Now according to you, leaves are green. Why? Because due to the presence of chlorophyll. That's why it looks green. But actually the chlorophyll is not green in color. Why it is green in color? Because it has a system which absorb two types of wavelength of light, that is the red and the blue light. That's why it appear green to our eyes, because human eye cannot pick up okay, all the wavelength of the light source. There are some wavelength that we are not able to pick or we are not able to see. Okay, now this light reaction occurs where? In the thylakoids of the chloroplast, or you can say it occurs in the thylakoid or in the chloroplast. Okay, now let's look into the reaction first. Here, look here. You see this one. Let's talk about the light reaction first. Okay, as we know that in chlorophyll, okay, a plant uses sunlight. What does it use? Sunlight. Now, as I explained earlier, sunlight, it has what? Photons, which are positively charged. Okay, when this photon, okay, hits, I forgot to mention that, forgot this one, okay, forgot this first. Now let's look on to this first. In light reaction, okay, the plant use first the H2O, that is the water. It does not directly it does not directly use this carbon dioxide. So now let's look, because the carbon dioxide is used in the dark reaction. So now see, sunlight, okay, it contains photons, then it breaks down hydrogen and oxygen molecule of the water. This is also known as the hydrolysis process. Okay, this is known as the hydrolysis process. Why? Because hydro means water and lysis means to break down. Okay, as we know that hydrogen is the electron donor, okay, in the process of photosynthesis. So now when this compound is being break down, then we get what? Hydrogen element and oxygen element. So here oxygen is being released into the atmosphere for the use of human. Okay, this is the only part where the oxygen takes place. In the rest, oxygen does not take place anymore. Why? Because it is a waste product, so it has been already released into the atmosphere. Now the most important is only the hydrogen. Okay, now this hydrogen plus oxygen, then it also produce NADPH and ATP. Now this NADPH, okay, it acts as an electron carrier. You see this one? Because hydrogen is an electron donor. So in order to transform or in order to carry this electron to the dark reaction, okay, it needs a taxi. That taxi is the NADPH. If you look in detail, okay, it is very long process. Okay, now this ATP. See, for ATP, why do we use ATP? We use ATP for energy source. Okay, see, in the first reaction, that is the light reaction, we didn't get directly the glucose. Okay, we did not get the glucose. What we get is only the electron carrier and the ATP to start the reaction, that is the dark reaction, as a source of energy. Okay, see, it is very important. That's why if you did not break down this two process, you will not understand what is photosynthesis all about. All you know is just the process by which green plant make their own food. But now you understand, right? How do we get this? The full form of this one, NADPH, is neoamide diphosphate. This H is for hydrogen. Okay, because this one later on it will be converted into ADP. Later on, okay, this one either it will be reduced into NADP plus. This is the reduced form of this one. So now this ATP, okay, ATP is used to initiate or to start the process of the dark reaction or the Calvin cycle. Why? Because we need energy to start or to initiate the process of the dark reaction. That's why it acts as a source of energy. So now let's look into the dark reaction. As we know from the word itself, okay, dark reaction, it doesn't mean that it is what to say, it is, or it occur in the absence of light, but that is not the condition. Okay, this dark reaction occur. Why? Because it does not require light energy to perform this chemical reaction. Okay, even if light is there, but it will not use. That's why it is known as the dark reaction. This dark reaction also, it is known as the Calvin cycle. Why it is being discovered by Calvin? He is a scientist. Okay, that's why he is being named as the this process is being named as the Calvin cycle. That's why now earlier I mentioned that plant use first the water. Now we have finished the process of water. From water we get NADPH and ATP. Now what about carbon dioxide? So dark reaction or the Calvin cycle is all about the dark reaction. Dark reaction or the Calvin cycle is all about the use of carbon dioxide. See, plant utilize this carbon dioxide in the absence or without the use of sunlight. Then along it will use what? The energy that we get from the light reaction, and plus the electron, okay, that is being donated by the NADPH or the NADP plus, and then through this process, okay, it produces what? Glucose. This is all about the dark reaction. Then this glucose, okay, after production, it will be transported to different parts of the plant by the vascular bundle, that is the phloem. Okay, this video on phloem I'll be doing on the Thursday, I think. Yes. So now this is all the simplified process that I tried as I could. Okay, because if you go in detail about the Calvin cycle, it is very long. You have to mention the enzyme like the Rubisco enzyme that are responsible for the process of this one. That's why for a secondary level, okay, this is more than enough. You only need to know, okay, in the first reaction, that is the light reaction, what is going on. It is just the hydrolysis or the breaking down of the water molecule into H plus and O2. Then give out what? NADP, H and ATP. So why do we need this? Because we have to carry this electron or electron charge, okay, because water acts as an electron donor, so that electron need to be transferred into the dark reaction. That's why we need this NADPH to carry that electron. And also this one ATP is used for initiating or to begin the process of dark reaction. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit on that one. Okay, I talk about the why do we see green light or why do we see green? Yes, it is combination of this one dark, or it's combination of yellow and red or blue light. Okay, see now, this is about the light reaction. Okay, suppose this is the sun, no? Then this is it occur inside the leaves. This is the thylakoid. Okay, inside the leaves. Okay, if you happen to study, okay, you will see a coin-like structure being stacked upon. This is known as the granum. Singular, they call it the grana. Okay. Now, if you take out one coin and you view it or you magnify it, this is what you get. Okay. Now, this is the PS1 and the PS2. PS1, it means photosystem 1, and PS2 is the photosystem 2. Why we name PS1 and PS2? Because PS1 is being discovered first, then the PS2 later on. Here is the light antenna. Okay, that that act as a receiver for the photons. Now this PS1, it absorbs the wavelength of the light source between that range between 620 to 750 nanometers. This range of sunlight comprised of blue, green, etc. Okay, and then this PS2, okay, it receives sunlight. Sorry, this PS1, okay, it absorbs the sunlight. That comprises of yellow, orange, then red, pink, etc. Okay, and then this PS2, okay, it absorbs the sunlight that range between the 430 to 495 nanometers. This wavelength, okay, it comprises of blue light, green light, violet, etc. So that's why the leaves appear green due to the combination of these two colors. That's why. So now inside this thylakoids, okay, light reaction takes place. Then we get we give ADP, then NADP plus. Okay, now we get this one ATP and NADPH. Okay, so I'll wind my class here. So I'll continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.